Hey everyone, thanks for hanging out with me today. I thought we would just do a good old monthly faves. I was really supposed to do this at the end of May. I've had this list ready since the end of May. There's a couple of newbies since then, so maybe it's good that I'm doing this in June. So let's just consider this a combined May-June monthly favorites. Holy cow, it is so hot out today. We went to do groceries. We went to, what am I looking at? The camera's over here. We went to do why am I looking over there? We went to do, I wouldn't say groceries. We got some things at Costco. Like I get my protein shakes there. We get laundry detergent, the big things of sparkling waters and things like that, the bulk items. But then we'll go to Aldi or Lidl or Kroger or Publix or sometimes Trader Joe's even to get groceries and whatever. And it felt like hot as Hades. Have you ever heard that expression? Hades, hot as Hades. It's supposed to be 91 and it felt like 100 degrees. And so the humidity was super thick. It's one of those things like, be careful what you ask for. We were waiting for warm summer weather and boom, it smacked us in the face. We had a really rainy April and especially May was a very torrential downpour, cold, cool month. And the beginning of June was too, but mid-June on, whew, summer is making up for it now, and it's not even officially summer. So let's get into some of these products. I have some hits and some misses. In the hits department, I'll start with some good old skincare, y'all. The Ilia Face Base Milk Lightweight Moisturizer Barrier Renewal Complex. If that's not a name, this stuff, I might have mentioned this in the last monthly favorites. I don't remember, but it comes across like, it's like a milky solution. Let me see if I can get some out here. It's a little drippy. Maybe I did mention this. I'm sorry if it's a repeat, but I love it that much. I try not to do repeats. Ooh, it's running across. So anyway, across the months. You see that it's almost like a water-based milky texture, very thin, and it serves as almost like an essence for my face. And so I put that on first after I shower to prep my skin then. Let me just take these off because I'm trying to look all cute and intellectual for y'all. By the way, do y'all like my newer glasses? I think they're so cute. I like the tone of the sort of brown ambery frames. But let's just go barefaced. So I will put this on my face, this Ilia stuff. I'm about almost halfway through, and then I'll go on with whatever moisturizers and other products. Speaking of moisturizers, I'm loyal to a number of moisturizers, and this next one is in full rotation, along with I'll show you the other two. My Oola Hendrickson Strength Trainer Peptide Boost Moisturizer. I have so many backups of this. I have like 4 or 5. That's actually not what's in this jar. And I'll talk about that in a minute because I had a fail and had to transfer stuff into this jar. So hang on to that idea. And then back in rotation is the Paula's Choice Resist Normal Dry Skin Restoring Moisturizer because it has the SPF 50. And so because I'm outdoors a little bit more now than I am during the year, the regular rest of the part of the year, since it's summer and the sun's beaming on down, I've moved back to this as a layer of moisturizer. But what I was gonna say as the monthly favorite, y'all, the older I get, the more juicy, dewy, moisturized I want my skin to be. I used to want to look like a glazed donut only at night when I went to bed, like for nighttime skincare, and now I want to look like that all day long, except on days when I wear makeup. But I am so digging the Bobbi Brown VitaminEnriched face base. It smells really good. It's like a sweet lemony smell. And I have the big jar here. I like the sleekness of the jar. Like it looks nice in I was going to say vanity, but it's actually next to my sink. But it's super duper rich, thick emollients. I love this stuff. And so a nice layer of this over that Ilia face base is perfection. I feel super dewy, like ready to face the day with my hydration. And I feel hydrated all day long, which I love. So 2 sort of makeup-y products. I don't know if this counts as makeup. It's more like an accessory for your makeup, but I've been talking to you all about these press-on lashes that I used recently. It's called Winks by Ardell is the maker. They are pre-glued. They come with this little, what do you call this? Like almost like a tweezer thing that you use to put these on your eyes. So I'll start with this big layer on the bottom. By the way, there's 2 kinds. This is just the natural, and then there's one that's a little bit thicker. But this does me just fine for a nice natural enhanced eyelash look. So I'll take the bigger one and put it on the outside. They're pre-glued. You use a little tweezer to pop it up under your eyelash. You don't have to put it over and be worried about the glue band. So in that way, if you do it right and you do it close enough, but not too close to the waterline, that's the trick. You can't get it. Okay, this is going to be like right up in my eyeball. So let me see if I can show y'all what I'm talking about. You don't want to touch the skin part with it. You want it to just be past the skin part, but enough on the lash part. I'm making it sound super complicated. It's not. Like, once you try it a few times and you get the hang of it and you understand how to hold it, that's the key. So with the tweezers, you want to not hold the sticky part. It's super sticky because it's pre-glued. You want to hold the lashes, right? So like if this is the lash and this is the sticky part, you kind of grab it in the middle and make sure you have a firm grip. And the key is whatever side you're doing it on, use that hand. Don't be trying to do like this number or that or crossover. You're going to mess it up. If you're doing your left side, do your left hand and very steadily hold it. Do it and you kind of pop it up, make sure it's like touching your eyelashes, and then you take the tweezers on top and bottom and you kind of squeeze them together. Voila, they are done. So anyway, I've been using 3 on days that I film, starting with the big one on the outside, the middle one right next to that, and then the littler ones closer to that, and nothing on the super inside, although I'm sure you can do it all the way over if you want to. I don't have anything on now. I don't have any makeup, just a little bit of moisturizer on now. I hope the lighting is okay. Maybe I should be doing this. Maybe that's better, but I don't have any place to hold it. Hold on. Un minuto, por favor. Is that lighting better? I'm so sorry. I have all these contraptions all around that I'm trying to work from. Anyway, I highly advise these. This is my second pack. I'm finishing up a pack of this below. I'm about halfway through a pack. These are a godsend if you like a fuller lash, but you're sick of like the glue drama up above. I mean, I still like those too when you want a super full look, but if you're just looking for like an enhancement to zhuzh up without making it obvious that you have fake lashes on, you can just use the outer one, you know, on the very edge, just to add a little pizzazz. 2 of them even would be fantastic. So this is a huge win. Love these. In the hair category, I have been head over heels for the new Crown shampoo and conditioner. I have used the volumizing ones. I did get a hydrating shampoo because they didn't have the volumizing one during the sale. So I went back and purchased this later when it was available. By the way, I will link everything below if I can, if there's links to them, so that you can shop if you're interested. So I like these volumizing ones. And here's what I love. First of all, love the simplistic packaging. I'm all about pretty simple packaging these days, pretty and or simple or both. I don't like super fussy packaging. For example, this is super fussy packaging, but this isn't sitting out on my counter. So I just put it in a drawer and use it as needed. I like the sleekness, for example, of the Bobbi Brown base. And I absolutely love this sort of creamy, frosty Ilia bottle. And I love that it has this little indentation in the cap. That seems so like trivial, but it really affects the overall experience. I can't explain why. I just love it. Anyway, I like the simplicity of this Crown packaging. And I love that these smell like light blue, the perfume from Dolce & Gabbana. And that's just, it's a great thing. It's like a spa experience, washing and conditioning my hair. I still love all of my other shampoos and conditioners, but these are sort of the ones I'm playing with right now, and they're volumizing. So I used them today. I didn't do a very good job. In fact, I didn't put any products in my hair before I blew it out with something that I'm going to share with you, another fave for the month. But you can see that it gives a little bit of body to my otherwise super, at this point, limp hair. I have naturally curly and wavy hair together. And if I don't do good styling, it'll get frizzy. Like, it's pretty frizzy down here at the bottom, which is okay. I'm just hanging around the house. I'm not doing anything special. Not that you guys aren't special. Filming for you is so special, but you know what I mean? So anyway, it adds a little bit of volume, which is nice. And they smell really, really great. And I like the sort of sleekness of them in the shower. So I want to revisit an eyeshadow that I mentioned in, I think it was either the last video or the video before, like 2 videos ago, that I got back into. By the way, before we continue, I, at least right now, am not planning on getting the new Lisa Eldridge eyeshadow palette that was released. How about you? What do you think of it? I feel like I have that color scheme. I'm going to show you. Actually, I'm not going to show you because I don't have it in here, but in the Yucca palette from Natasha Denona, I feel like that's close enough. And then the Safari Natasha Denona palette, I don't know. I feel like I've been there, done that with that color scheme, which is very hypocritical of me to say, considering what I'm about to show you. But because it's a color scheme that has like khaki, I mean, how many golds can I have? I have plenty of golds. I have plenty of silvers. I'll get more gold and silver too. But I guess just the combination in this particular little palette isn't calling to me. So I'm going to skip. But I did want to say that a returning favorite that I shunned and then got back into are these Dior Quints. I called them quintets in the previous video. I'm so sorry. Quints is what they're called. I like the sleek packaging that it just says Dior with the CD there. And because I'm in the era of small, simple eyeshadows, this is like perfection, you know, especially for a work day. I've been filming more with these simple looks. I used to do these really dramatic looks, which I still love playing with, and I love seeing them on other people. I am, especially myself, at this lovely age of 50 and beyond, leaning more toward these kinds of simpler color schemes, at least for me. So, oh my gosh, sorry about that. This one is called Soft Cashmere. I won't swatch them for you because what you see is really what you get. There's a little bit of shimmer in a few of them and some mattes, and it's a very soft, muted look that is everyday. And if you want to zhuzh it up, you can maybe deepen a little bit more. And that's kind of what you get. You know, what you see is what you get. Very simple, very easy. I also picked up again, this is just, it's so silly in some ways that I ever let these go, but they weren't impactful enough for me when I first purchased them because I was still in the era of super dramatic eyeshadow. I have this one, which is Nude Dress. Nude Dress. Not very different than the one you just saw. Maybe a little bit more neutral, leaning warm, you know. It's hard to go wrong with these, and that's what I like. Like, you can't mess up your look with these. And then this is probably the boldest one that I have. Poncho. This one is called Poncho. And you know, there's some shimmery shades, and I like that these are, I don't know if they're baked or not, but they give the effect of being baked. Let me just swatch like this one here. See, it's just nice and subtle. It gives you a little bit of zhuzh without overdoing it for the work environment. These three, my Lisa Eldridge ones, my little Charlotte Tilbury quads, my little Viseart palettes, my Tom Ford quads, those are the ones that I'm leaning toward the most. My more neutral leaning, the Natasha Denona ones, or maybe they're not all neutral, like there's a warm one, a cool tone one, but you know, the ones that have the simpler looks I'm leaning towards, and these were reached for quite a bit this past month, and they just did the job. Now, if I wanted a little bit more zhuzh, then I would go into one of the little single eyeshadows that I purchased, like the ColourPop or the Hourglass, whatever these are called, Scattered Light. I have like a Charlotte Tilbury one, Moira, if that's how you pronounce that. This is a Moira one too. And I would just put a little bit of that over the middle of the eyelid just to add a little bit more punch if I wanted more shine, because everything gets washed out on camera, as I've always mentioned. So anyway, the little shadows have been big wins. I want to move on to some non-makeup, non-skincare things. If you get grossed out by like other people's feet products, maybe fast forward through this part a little bit. Look, I have been through so many different pairs of slippers from Amazon in particular. I've had expensive slippers, I've had UGG slippers, I've had cheap slippers, everything in between. And they might feel great at first, but they eventually like break down, or they stretch out, or they get holes on the bottom of them because I live in my slippers at home. This pair of slippers has been so great. Let me just show them to you like this, okay? So you're not looking at all the funky foot stuff, but I adore these. They have a nice solid bottom on them. They're very stable. I'll put in the picture of the product on Amazon, and they'll be linked in my Amazon store. That has been my favorite pair. They're squishy. I love that they have like almost like a little platform. Sometimes I've had platform slippers and they slip and slide. The key there is, so I'm an 8.5, and I always hate that slippers are like sized 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. Those are like the two options, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm like, but I'm an 8.5. So if I order one, they're too small. If I order the other, they feel too big and floppy. So I went with a 7, 8 in those, and they were perfection. The straps, these straps hold on so nicely to your foot. You feel snug and you feel secure. And if you live in a hot climate or it's warm in your house, you get to have your toes and a little bit of your foot sticking out for ventilation, which is fantastic. So those are a huge win when I have gone through so many pairs of slippers that didn't work, or a pain in the butt, fell apart, all of the things, right? I also recently purchased a jewelry cleaner. So here is one. There's all different kinds, but this is the Magnasonic. I didn't realize how easy these were to use. I mean, like, where have I been? So I have all of that beautiful, gorgeous, ideal jewelry. I actually purchased 2 more pieces. I'll show you in a little bit. They had a recent 20% off sale, and I have been eyeballing some other pieces that I really wanted. So I got them. In fact, let me just pop up the pictures first. Okay, so I won't go get them. So I got earrings that look like this, and they're fantastic. So easy to wear. And I also finally got like a little pendant that I think it's called a cushion cut. I'm not the best with like cuts of diamonds, but it looks like this. And so I got those during the sale. Point I'm making is I have a bunch of ideal jewelry that I wear all the time. And then my wedding ring and a few other pieces that are not ideal, but that are sterling silver and moissanite and whatever. And I'm always like, how do I clean these? There's ways to clean them, just like in a bowl with some dish soap or whatever. This thing uses like, I think it creates a wave technology in there. Like is it called ultrasound? I forget what the name of it is. I'll put it here, but it basically creates these little like microwaves in there. Not microwave like that you cook your food in. Microwaves in tiny little waves, but I put a few, like a capful of a cleaning agent. So in this case, I use Fabuloso. You can use like a bunch of different types of things. You can use Dawn dish soap, and you put it in there with water. You put your jewelry in the basket, and you leave it in there. You press the thing. I think it does like 180 seconds or something. And then you open it, and friends, oh my God, the amount of like dead skin cells and crap, like just uck and ick that was in that water. By the time it was all said and done, my stuff came out so clean. I was like, where have you been all my life? So this was a nice little splurge. I keep it under my bathroom sink, and I'll be using this like once a month just to clean my earrings, because you get dead skin cells on your ears and stuff like that cake themselves into your earrings. Is so gross. Same thing. Like, I like to put foundation here. And so any little pendants that I wear here over time, they get built up from the foundation or whatever else, any lotion, anything like that. Fragrance even can leave some stuff on there. So it's nice to clean all that stuff off with this. Now, if you are a side sleeper like I am, every once in a blue moon, I can fall asleep on my back, or I can take a nap on my back or something, but I'm really a side sleeper. Because I've lost weight, my knees touch now when I sleep on my side, and I actually hate it. It is so uncomfortable. I feel like bony, like my legs feel bony. I've never had this problem in my life. So this is a new problem born of weight loss, and I needed a little pillow. So I got like one of the knee pillows, side sleeper knee pillows from Amazon. Hated it. It was too thick, bulky. I felt like the rest of my leg meat was like crushing around the sides of it and stuff. So that had to go. And I found these 2 little pillows. This is a small thing that makes a huge difference at night. How cute are these 2 little things? This one, of course, has to have some flyaway stuff on the side. Let's just pretend. Let's look at this side of it. So here they are. They're very squishy. I put one between my knees, and it moves with me as I go side to side. And then the other one, because I'm a side sleeper, I'm always like trying to bunch up the covers, comforter, whatever, under my hand, right? Because I have this like thing going on. So I will put it like this on my hand to kind of rest my hand on it. I know, like, how posh are we that we need little pillows to help us sleep? But this has been a godsend for someone like me, that I have to be completely comfortable to fall asleep. Like, I have to have the fan on and on me. I like the white noise and I like the breeze. I have to have warm comforters, even if it's like 100 degrees outside. I need the room in AC. I need the fan on. I need warm sheets over me and a comforter. I need my pillow to just be just right for side sleeping. And then these 2 have been very, very helpful for comfort when I sleep. I also wanted to share one specific pair of shorts. I purchased a bunch of pair for the summer because of, changes in personal sizing. And it was time to get some new shorts that actually fit me. And these in particular, they're going to look really bummy because they are very wrinkled. But rest assured, they are the most comfortable, athletic feeling, almost like golf shorts, okay? The material on them is great. So these are very wrinkled. They are in white. They don't seem like a lot, but they've got this nice sort of stitching, okay? And then there's a pocket that I love that it zips up so you can stick stuff in there. I got these in white. I got them in black And then I don't have them out here, but I also got them in a color like the wall, like a slate gray, and a bunch of other pairs of short pants, but these are the ones that I love the most. This is so interesting. It says sun protection. I don't need my clothing to have sun protection, but it has like a UV blocker. I feel like that's a little gimmicky, but that's okay. Lightweight, breathable, soft touch, machine washable. You can iron them. I don't plan to iron them. I don't plan to iron them, but they're like a cross between an athletic short and a golf short. And yes, at this age, I have no shame in wearing these kinds of shorts, but they're so freaking comfortable. I got mine in a size small. I think they come in extra small all the way through like 2X large. Okay. Super comfortable, super comfortable. And what I really like is it's almost like a scuba material. Like it's thick enough, yet light enough to wear, thick enough to not show all of like your lumps and bumps and cellulite and all of that, but thin enough that you can wear them obviously in the summertime and not feel hot or claustrophobic in your own shorts. So highly advise these. I also wanted to give a shout out to a Dyson product. I love my Dyson hair products. I should have talked about this when I did like the skincare and face care and all of that. So I have the Dyson blow dryer. I have it's not a straightening thing, but I forget what it's called, but it's like a clamp that you can blow dry your wet hair straight. And then I have the curling system. I'm forgetting the dang name of it now. There's a name to the whole system with the barrels that curl. But where I'm going is I've been using this often on days like today when I don't want to fuss with my hair a lot. This bottom is the base to the big system with the curling rods and all of that stuff. But then I got this extra large attachment. And when you turn it on, the hot air comes out of this. And I literally just blow dry my hair like that. Period. And it's done. It's like the easiest blow dry thing. You wouldn't think this would work well, but it does. It does the job. And what I do is I will blow dry my hair, but I'll keep my hand over it because it never gets super hot, but it's dry. It's hot and drying enough. And I will guide it as it curls. As it dries, So that helps prevent any frizzing or reduce the frizzing. I didn't do that great of a job today because I was really rushing and not doing exactly what I showed you that I do, but I can get my hair dried. I always let my hair start to dry a little bit as I'm doing my skincare and getting my clothing ready and that kind of thing. And so by the time I go to try to dry my hair, I probably have 70% of the way to go. So when I'm there, this does a great job in like under 10 minutes of getting my whole head of hair dry. So this has been a godsend, this particular attachment. I've only ever seen it at Ulta. I don't know if Sephora sells this. So I'll have to look and link it for you all. But this has been fantastic for, like, it comes in clutch, as the expression goes, as the young kids say, this comes in clutch on those days that you don't want to fuss with your hair very much. I'm still absolutely loving my Comfelie bras, and I wear them almost exclusively. Like my other bras are like, did you forget that you love us too? I now have one in black, in cream, in pink blush, a grayish color. I think I have a couple in white. I have like 7 or so now, and I feel like I should keep ordering them, but I need to chill out because I'm using the ones that I have and just really enjoying them. So those are linked in my store. I won't go on and on about them because I have in previous videos. The other thing that I wanted to share again, and I shared this in the last video, y'all, I have been fully in love with my Remarkable tablet. There it is, fully closed up, right? I showed y'all in the last video, so I won't go over this a whole bunch. The magnetic pen that's attached. Here I have a packing list, for a trip that I think I'm going to take. I'll just go back to like a home page to show you 4 different, they call them notebooks that I've started. One on books that I like, an eternal playlist of songs that I love. I just started that. I only have one other, books, shows, and videos. Why do I have a separate thing for books? I guess I have to merge those. The packing list. Here's my home screen with my to-do list, some scratch notes that I keep open if I'm talking to people and just want to think and doodle as I talk, a running grocery list, and then I have folders with my video ideas and that sort of stuff up here. These are all folders. So this has been a godsend, this entire contraption to keep all of the things in my head on here. I did this course, like a learning course through my job, and it was about organization and getting your life together, like getting all of your things together, organizing all of your to-dos and everything. And one of the most valuable things that I heard was minds are for thinking, not for storing lists. And the idea there is make sure you have other places to put your lists and keep your to-do items and organize those things elsewhere so you're not using this brain power trying to remember all of that. Okay, so those are my big hits of the month. I do have a few shits, as other channels call them, or fails. Unfortunately, one of them is a Paula's Choice product. I'm about done with this. I might do a couple of more nights of this. I've been using this for a good couple of months now. This is the Pro Retinaldehyde Dual Retinoid Treatment. So it's supposed to be a retinoid that I put on at night. I don't feel like I see the same effects like I saw with the La Roche-Posay one that I've been using. One, and two, this comes out looking like that. I mean, it's almost like a mustard color. It doesn't stay that way on your face. I mean, you rub it in and it disappears into nothing, no color. After a lot of rubbing, you can still see a little yellow sheen on there. But I always feel like I'm rubbing mustard on my face. And I'm like, why does it have to be that color? I don't understand that. If you're a chemist, if you're a cosmetic chemist, or you understand the science behind this, let us know. Is this necessary? It feels weird. I don't like that part. And furthermore, I don't feel like it's as effective as the La Roche-Posay. Now I'm going back to my dermatologist this summer for a general checkup, and I'm going to actually ask for a prescription retinol treatment to continue to treat my face and just avoid this altogether. But this was a fail. The other fail, and it's more of a packaging fail than anything else, I've been wanting for forever to try the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Overnight Rehydrating Mask with 10.5% squalene. Now, do you notice anything? Oh my God. So as I would go to use this, open the jar, what's in there is actually now in this container. So let me show you what that looks like. You see how you don't see it oily? It's almost like nearly solid, kind of like a little bit of a coconut butter consistency. I kind of like it. So you take it out like that. This is the Kiehl's product in here, and you warm it up in your hands, and then you put it on your face, and it comes off on your face like an oil barrier. My problem is when I would go to handle the jar, because the substance has an oil base to it, or something like an oil base, all of this started to rub off. I didn't even realize it or put two and two together, but I'd be putting stuff on my face and I get like a little black fleck and I'd be like, what the hell is that? It's this stuff. And so I've kept this long enough just to let you know this is a fail, and it's sad. I had to transfer everything over into that other packaging. I will not be repurchasing this, even though I love what's inside, because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, and it is such an eyesore on my counter. Big fat no. The other fail for me, and this is kind of sad, I'm gonna have to give this away to my daughter or maybe one of her friends or maybe a friend of mine. This Kate Spade camera bag. It's in pink. I mean, how cute is this blush pink color? One, the strap is light, and you know, when you're sweaty and whatever in the summertime, you can get this dirty real easy. That's neither here nor there. The problem with this camera bag is it's pretty stiff, and the opening is stiff, you know, where you're like struggling to get in and out. Like I'm scratching my hand on the teeth of this. My phone barely fits in there. So I thought this was going to work out, but it's actually rather impractical because of the stiffness, the small mouth on it, and the fact that you can't really splay this to get into your stuff. So this was an unpleasant wearing experience, which is too bad because I think this is like the perfect pink for me. The perfect pink. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'll save that for another video. Okay, that is it for now. Those are my hits and my fails for the month. Let me know your thoughts. And if you're interested in any of these products, they are linked below. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you in the next video. Take care.